What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So as we know, the German Double Six Island counterattack campaign event, whatever it is, the community event, it's been running over the last couple of days. As you guys know, I've been uploading a video every single day about every single new island that's been released. And you guys have been going ham. We have reached the close to like the top score that we need in order to get like all the rewards, which is just crazy. I didn't actually think we were going to get there as quick as what we did, but it's awesome to see that we've actually done it. So we can see that we've reached 41 million points as of me recording this video right now, which is just crazy good. Now, because we've reached that, we get every single one of these rewards, and every time we've reached one of these rewards, we get a mail sent to our mailbox, which gives us the reward, of course, which includes lots of rare recruit pulls. I will be uploading a separate video with all of my ticket pulls throughout the entire event. I've been stockpiling them up and saving them for a video, so you guys will be seeing that soon enough. But there we go, 32 million, we get 3 rainbow gems, 35 million, we get a random legend, and then 40 million, which is what this video is going to be about, is going to be the Choose One Sugo Fest exclusive character. So there are 7 different characters on this list here, and I want to go through every single one of them, just breaking them down and giving my thoughts and opinions on them, because I always get asked this question, you know, which one should I pick? Whenever there's a free legend selection, it's definitely one of the most anticipated videos, or the most anticipated, like, just question that I get asked, and it's about this. It's always about, you know, what legend should I pick, and that's what we're going to be going through today. So let's start off from left and go all the way to the right. We're going to start off with Legend Zora. So we'll go Zora and filter by 6-star characters, and we have Legend Zora. Now, obviously, he does have a super evolution, so we'll go through that as well. So his super evolution, he's a slasher captain. He's not too bad. He's a 3 times captain with a 1.5 times health, so you get a lot of health, but he's just not that powerful these days. As a sub, he makes Dex Orbs beneficial for slashes and Tandem beneficial for slashes, which is pretty good. However, once we get V2 Zora, he just kind of gets outclassed in like every single way. His special ability still provides a really good amount of AoE damage, and then if he is your captain, you get 2 times attack for slashes, and then if he is a sub, you get 1.75 times attack for slashes, and then also if he is a sub, he gets 2.5 times chain lock. Now, he's not terrible. Like, he's actually like still pretty solid, but his captain ability is what really lets him down. And like the fact that the slashes are nowhere near the top echelon of like the best classes in the game right now, which is why I think that Legend Zora is kind of a terrible choice. However, one thing that you do have to note is he does have a really good support ability, which does support Mihawk and Perona, where once per adventure, when that supported character, either Mihawk or Perona, activates a special, he gives you 2.5 times chain lock for 2 turns. This is ridiculous, right? Because it is a multi-turn chain lock, means that you can activate the support ability to work on a stage prior to like a boss fight, and if the boss gives you a chain lock that's really like negatively beneficial, you can actually go ahead and have this, and it will take precedence over the preemptive attack of the enemy. So this can get around really annoying chain debuffs that the boss will give you, but just mainly the fact that you can have this guy on your team as a support character, and it means that you don't have to bring a chain locker, which is pretty good, right? The only downside is you only have to attach it to a Mihawk and Perona, which is kind of difficult, I would say, because there aren't really many top tier Perona characters, and in terms of Mihawk, he kind of only really runs on slasher teams for the most part. And if you're going to run a slasher team, you might as well run this Zora on the team because he's a pretty good unit. But, you know, he's a nice support unit, that's for sure. I don't think he's the best choice of this list, but I think that the only reason you should really pick up Zora if he's like the only character that you don't have. So the one after that is going to be Legen Nl. Now, I think everyone out there already knows how good NL is, and I'm pretty sure a majority of you guys out there already own Legen Nl. Remember when his Super Evolution came out, there was a Sugo Fest, you do 2 multis, and you get NL, which is pretty ridiculous, right? It's a very good deal at the time, so hopefully many of you guys already have Legen Nl, and I'm sure that all of you guys that already have Legen Nl already know how good he is, but basically, he works very well with the other healer characters, such as Legend Marco, such as Limited Rare Recruit Bonnie, Legend Shirahoshi. All of those characters that provide lots of healing to your team work ridiculously well with Legend NL 6+. And just with the fact that you can run him as a captain and kind of cheese content with his special is just pretty good. Though I will say, he, over time, over the next couple months coming through, he will start to see less play, just because bosses have ridiculous amounts of health, and, you know, with NL, he provides 5 million damage with his special, and with double NL, it's 10 million damage, right? Which is cool, but the thing is, bosses will have more than that, and you're kind of just relying on the NL damage to basically give you the win. So outside of NL's damage, you'll still have to do more damage to the enemy. So over time, NL will see less and less play. But if the boss has like less than 10 million HP, then NL is a very, very good choice for that fight, as long as there's no healing debuffs along the way. He doesn't have a support ability, I don't think, no. So I think NL he's still okay, but I just feel like, again, he should only be the choice if you don't have NL at this point. I do think NL is a better choice over Zora, but now that support abilities are a thing, Zora's support ability is pretty ridiculous. So I think that is still a pretty good choice either way. But let's move on to the next character here, which is going to be version 1 lore. And I think a lot of people out there already know how good version 1 lore is, but for those who don't know how good lore is, he is pretty freaking cool, right? Because he is a multi-class captain, being Slasher and Free Spirit, and he goes up to 4 times after 5 consecutive perfects, and he recovers 1000 HP at the end of each turn. He's a usable captain, and there are a lot of good Free Spirit captains specifically. He has okay sailors, I would say, but his special is the main reason why you want him. At max special and max limit break 8 turn cooldown, which will make damage and health cutting specials bypass all defensive buffs. So this includes barriers, this includes damage reduction, this includes damage threshold. It goes through everything. I believe it goes through damage immunity as well. So like this is ridiculous. The fact that you can have a special ability that makes your other specials do damage through defensive effects. Now, we just talked about NL, right? Version 1 lore is a perfect counterpart with Legen Nl, because when you have lore as a sub on the NL teams, it enables your NL specials to go through barriers, go through threshold, go through immunities. It's pretty freaking great. Another way that you could use him would be if you have version 2 Doflamingo. Now, obviously, on a V2 Doflamingo team, you have to run a full team of driven characters, which means you couldn't run this guy on your team. But if you find a captain that could support version 1 lore and version 2 Dofi on the team, then boom, you can allow V2 Doflamingo special to go through barriers. And, you know, you can do lots of different things as well, even like Inthawk, right? You can run Inthawk and this guy on the same team. They're both slasher characters, and you can make Inthawk special go through barriers. There's really cool things that you can do with this, and I think that he is still a very, very good choice, as well as allowing you to get some good solid damage towards the enemy, and he also reduces special cooldowns. The fact that he reduces special cooldowns on an 8-turn cooldown, as well as, like, doing what he already does, I think lore, out of these 3 so far, I do think that lore probably is the best choice so far, but the next character after lore is Corazon. Now, prior to the super evolution of Corazon, I would say no. Corazon is a terrible character. There's no reason to get him. However, with his super evolution, and now with his support ability, I personally think this is the best character to choose from. I think that Corazon is the best character, yeah, by far. I think Corazon is easily the best character by far on this entire list. So, Corazon's captain ability, you basically never use. It's a terrible captain effect, in my personal opinion. Some of you guys that might disagree, but everything else about Corazon is amazing, right? His sailor abilities are so good. Reduces this is the entire crew's paralysis by 1 turn, and the entire crew's special bind by 1 turn, just for him being a sailor, which is so good. And then his special, 15 turns, recovers 50 times his recovery in HP. Now let me pull up the calculator because I want to calc this correct. So, how much recovery does he have? He has 612, and if you had 100 with candies, 712 times 50, I believe it was. It was 50, yeah. Which gives you 35,000 recovery, and if you have sailor abilities that boost the base recovery of your characters, or if you have a support character attached to Corazon that boosts his recovery, this will only go up even further, which is really great. So he does the really great recovery, then reduces bind, despair, paralysis, attack down, chain multiply limit, chain coefficient reduction by 3 turns, right? That's so good to have that much utility and that much healing on one character. and the fact that he has those 2 sailor abilities as well. But then if he's your captain or your friend captain, he reduces despair by 20 turns. You're never really going to be seeing that, and there aren't too many circumstances where you specifically need that effect, right? But all that on a 15 turn cooldown I think is really great. But the reason why he's actually as good as what he is because he has the potential ability of special cooldown reduction. So I would actually suggest, if you have Legend Corazon, to max his limit break and feed him these tablets, because you can reduce his special by 10 turns at the start of the fight. You can start with Corazon on a 5-turn cooldown, and with 2 turns of special cooldown sockets, that goes down to a 3-turn cooldown, and if you're running the host ship, a 2-turn cooldown. A 2-turn cooldown for this is just so good. If you guys have version 2 Katakuri, I've been using him with the V2 Katakuri team. Now, he doesn't get any boost from Katakuri whatsoever, but what it allows you to do is, because he is on such a low cooldown, you can fully heal your health, and you can have multiple different abilities to tank hits, which allows V2 Katakuri to get his special up much quicker. So this is one way that you could obviously use Corazon, and just the fact that he has that much utility, he's just like the perfect character to run on so many different teams. And he has a really good support ability, only supporting lore, which is kind of a downside, but once per adventure when you're inflicted with Bind, Despair, or Paralysis, he reduces it by 2 turns. 2 turns! Dude, okay, straight off the bat, if you guys have all of these legends on this list, which I know some of you guys out there definitely do, pick Corazon as your dupe legend, because that support ability is ridiculous. I mean, it's pretty much there. Like, Corazon is easily the best choice. We can go through the rest of these 3 here. We've got Sabo. I mean, Sabo's fine, but there's nothing really about him that really, like, jumps out for him to be, like, an amazing character. He's only a 2.75 captain. He makes Int beneficial for Free Spirit, which is still pretty solid. So, you know, Sabo can do stuff. And he's a 1.75 times type boost to Free Spirit. And after 4 perfects, you get a 2 times attack to Free Spirit in the following turn. 17 turn cooldown is a little high, in my personal opinion, for what he does. For his potential abilities, Slot Bind, Int, damage reduction, and pinch healing. Like, Sabo's fine. Again, I think I would only pick Sabo if he's like the only one you don't have. Still a pretty solid Free Spirit boosting character. Kazar is easily the worst character on this list. There's no real reason to even have this character. He is a pretty bad captain, in my opinion. He's only a 2 times attack until you use his special ability, and the special ability isn't even that great, in my opinion. He gives you matching orbs for shooters and slashers. He does a little bit of recovery, as well as dealing large typeless damage to random enemies, which is just, it's just a special you don't need these days. He's very, very outdated. I think Kazar is easily the worst character on this list. And the last character is Mihawk. We actually talked about Mihawk just a little earlier with version 1 lore. I think Mihawk still has a place in the meta. He can still do some pretty cool stuff. The thing that I really don't like about Mihawk is that he's only got 1 class, right? He's only a slasher character, so it really limits the type of teams that you can run him on. He is an int character though, and there's very good int teams, as we know. You know, there's Whitebeard and Marco, V2 Shanks, V2 Akainu. There's lots of good ways that you could utilize a character like this. He has great stats. Captain ability is a little average in my opinion. He's a stat boosting sailor, but these specials, the reason why you'd use him, right? Deals 60% of the damage you dealt in the previous turn to enemies, to all enemies in typeless damage. So the way that it works is if you deal 5 million damage, okay, to make it easier, if you do 10 million damage in 1 turn, the next turn when you activate the special, it'll deal 60% of that, so it does 6 million damage, which, you know, using the example of 10 million damage in the previous turn, it's pretty great. It's a great special. It's very similar in the way that it works to V2 Doflamingo. It's kind of weaker though. V2 Doflamingo can definitely reach his damage cap a lot easier than what Mihawk can. But it is what it is. You know, Mihawk's still pretty solid. Again, the only reason I would really pick him is if he is the only one that you don't have. But to give a full rundown of this, Legend Corazon is the best choice out of this list. However, if you already have Corazon, and let's say you are still missing a couple of these legends, I think after Corazon, I think that version 1 lore is probably the next best thing. And then after lore, you've got NL and Mihawk. I think NL and Mihawk are probably the next best after lore and Corazon. And then probably after that, you've got Zora and you've got Sabo, and then Kizaru is probably the worst one on this list here. But yeah, if you have to pick a dupe of these lists, I definitely think Corazon is the best one because that support ability is crazy. Though Zora definitely has a good support ability as well, but I feel like the support ability of Corazon will definitely see more play compared to what Zora as well. But there we go, guys. That's the full rundown of the Choose Your Own own legend. Hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of a rundown as to what to pick here. Pretty easy to understand that Corazon's the best one. And as I said, I'll be uploading a video later on once I have all of my red tickets and all the rare recruit tickets from the German Double Six event. So make sure to look forward to that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to hit the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.